What's up? I'm Bern. This is Haas, and we're talking the Alliance of American Football.
That's right. It's the Allies podcast starting now.
Hey, Haas.
What's up, Bern?
How's it going?
Just chilling.
You remember this morning when we were like, hey, there are no AAF podcasts anywhere?
We sure fixed that pretty fast, didn't we?
Yeah, we sure did. Here we are.
Here we are, episode 1.
12 hours later, and we have the Allies podcast talking AAF with Bern and Haas. Oh, we don't have any intro music. We'll put it in, right?
That's going to be in post. We're going to count on producer Derek for that.
Producer Derek picked him up from Craigslist. Hey, buddy. He's delivering our beers. It's been a great start so far.
I'm actually doing a beer tic-tac balancing, so I go beer, then tic-tac, beer, then tic-tac.
Yeah. It sounds disgusting.
Sometimes I just drop the tic-tac directly in.
All right, so is that what this podcast is going to be about, like all the weird things that you eat and drink?
Yes.
Yeah, I figured so.
Yeah, I do have a lot of weird preferences.
I don't think anyone's going to listen to us, though, if we talk about that. I
don't know if anyone's going to listen to us anyway.
That's what makes this awesome. Well, let's act like they are, and let's talk about the AAF.
Sure, I'm down. It's something I'm excited about.
Yeah, me too.
And I've seen from your Twitter feed that you've been pretty excited, too.
I am pretty excited. You know why I am?
Tell me.
Do you know?
Should we give like a two sentence explainer real quick of what the AAF is if you've made it this far?
Yeah,
and
probably.
You don't know what the AAF is?
Yes.
Okay. It's the Alliance of American Football, and it's a spring football league created by many former NFL execs and players who saw a void in the marketplace and thought this is a spot for a developmental league. Does that sound right?
Yeah.
So it's 10 weeks, 10 games, and 2 weeks of playoffs. There's 8 teams.
Yeah.
And that's the quick explainer. Now we're going to go way more in depth. But I want to hear first why you got into it.
You know, I was surfing around Reddit, and I saw a really cool community of people who were super hyped about something. And I was like, what is this? Why is this it was like on trending or something. And then I started looking into it, and I couldn't believe how interested I was in football. Because I'm like, you know me, I'm generally not interested in football. I'm not like calling you up on Monday night and being like, hey, let's talk about this like stupid game. No, I'm not. Yeah.
We specifically avoid NFL talk.
Yeah. NFL talk. Yeah. But then I watched the first game on Saturday, which was the San Antonio Commanders versus San Diego Fleet.
There's 2 first games at the same time, right? Because Orlando was on at the same time. Because I didn't watch your game and you didn't watch my game.
Yeah, you had the Apollo's Atlanta game, right?
We're in Orlando, so I'm in Orlando.
Yeah, and I'm in Nebraska.
Yeah.
So I got CBS. Why did I get that game?
I don't know.
I think actually most of the country got the Commanders Fleet game.
Well, they weren't treated to the offensive flurry that I witnessed.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome, wasn't it?
Yeah. So finish your story though.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm interested. I started following the forum, the subreddit, and then I ended up watching, and I was like, holy shit, this is super entertaining. Like, I enjoyed every play and was entirely engaged, and I got hooked instantly. And so for the past 65 hours, I've been everything AAF. And then today we hooked up, and you're like, oh, there's no podcast. There's a few. They're coming out with more, but why not make one? So here we are. Yeah,
let's just explore the AAF together, right?
Yeah.
So did you miss kickoffs? Is that an element of the game you missed?
It was weird. I didn't realize how it almost felt so different. Did you guys forget something? Did you get that sense at first?
It's kind of the first thing you notice. You're like, wait, where'd that go? But it doesn't matter really either, I don't think. And everything I've read says that it's one of the highest chances of injury. So they're like, well, let's just wipe that out. But it's also one of the plays that most people will skip because all the rule changes they've had in the NFL in the past, they very little happens on the kickoff unless it's it's all or nothing. You're either going to get a touchback a extraordinary amount of times, or you're going to have some sort of crazy, it just doesn't do much.
That's so true.
So they just got rid of it.
It definitely saves a lot of time.
Yeah.
And that's what they're about, time saving.
It kind of seems like the main goal, doesn't it?
Yeah. I mean, you have the split screen commercials, which is huge. I mean,
no TV timeout kind of thing, basically, or limited TV timeouts. And they have a shorter play clock. It's down to 35 seconds, I think. That's cool, from 40. If you make it too much shorter, you don't have a chance to like get your play in and run up to the line. So it seems like a good sweet spot. Like the guys that put the league together, like they're like legit. I mean, it's Bill Polian and Hines Ward and
Jared Allen.
It's guys that have played recently and know kind of like where you could take things out or put things in that make sense and could like liven up the game. So
what else is different between the AAF and the NFL?
Well, there's no extra points. No extra point kicks, I should say. The extra points are only 2-point attempts. So that's a major difference right away. And you and I spoke a little earlier, but the kickers are getting a lot less work in general because the only thing they're really doing is kicking field goals.
Yeah.
Because another difference is that there's no onside kicks. Since there's no kickoffs, you can't have an onside kick. So they're placing the ball. You basically have to get like, I think 15 yards. Like you declare that you want to do an onside kick function, even though it's not a kick, and you have to get 15 yards basically to get a first down, and then you start from there essentially. So that's kind of cool. The onside kick, now they changed all the rules in the NFL. Like it went from like 11%, I want to say 11% successful down to 7%. Now they changed some of the kickoff rules, so it was never working anyway.
Yeah.
So it's like, why even have it? I don't know. What else is there? You read through all the rule changes, right? Anything else you noticed major? I know you can't rush more than 5 players.
Right.
Which is
and no blitz.
Different. Yeah.
Right.
Well,
or is it's blitz, but no,
you can blitz,
no
but
more
yeah,
than...
you can't like send the house.
Right.
Basically.
Yes.
Yeah. That's kind of cool. They probably did that to make the passing like like to keep the offenses flowing. I would say make the game like entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know the technical rules, right? Like I, as a viewer and someone who's not like obsessed or hasn't been obsessed with the NFL for my whole life, right? Like so many other people are. I watch and I'm like taking it in more comprehensively. So like when I was watching the games this weekend, I'm seeing like action and movement and things aren't being stalled and it's like constant go, go, go. And then I'm hearing the chatter like, okay, well, this is actually like the rules change is what's making all of this movement happen. And a lot of people are like truly getting engaged with it. People that are kind of like me and maybe weren't before. So that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of fun to turn on something that's different and new, and like instantly you're gonna like try to figure out the differences, figure out what you're watching. Like I've had that experience like sitting down at a bar and seeing like some sort of rugby on, and I'm like, now what? Who's that team? What's this team?
Yeah.
What's different from it than American football? And so you kind of get that like novelty, but the football is gonna have to be good for there to be people that stay around too. And by all indications of our first week, we had some good football and a lot of buzz around the AAF, which is part of the reason you and I, ended up talking about it on a Monday morning. So
do you have any like top takeaways from teams or like who's your top and bottom player?
I saw 2 of the 4 games this weekend.
Okay.
So I can't claim that I did an extensive study, but I mean, the 2 quarterbacks that stood out were Garrett Gilbert from Orlando. He was phenomenal in the Spurrier offense. Their defense helped them out a lot, but he kept the ball moving. 2 touchdowns, almost 300 yards. And the other guy was John Wolford from Arizona. They also scored a ton of points. He threw 4 touchdowns. I think he threw 2 in 16 seconds because of some crazy plays. So they both kind of really stuck out. Both those guys have been in NFL camps before, so maybe they're building towards another shot back at the league instead of the Alliance. I like the Alliance name, don't you? The Alliance.
I do.
Yeah, we're the Allies, by the way. So
yeah, the Allies.
I guess we kind of embraced it.
Allies unite. It does. And really, if you look at it, like the growing fan base is so united because they're all allies right now because not everyone has like their hardcore like.
So true.
Ready to die for their team because everyone's in the same boat.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm in Orlando, so it was easy. But so many people in the country, if you're into football, which I mean our country is, and you don't live in one of these 8 cities or nearby, which a lot of people don't, then you're like, ooh, who do I want to root for?
Yeah.
Like you can look at uniforms or whatever colleges are funneling in to the teams based on allocations, or I mean whatever you want to do. I don't know. How do you could go with the coach? You're not going to pick a team, you said. You're just going to enjoy the league?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe next year.
I could talk you into the Apollos.
I don't know. I don't think so.
So you like the other 7 teams?
I like everybody. Whatever you like, I'm going to like the opposite.
Okay. All
yeah.
right.
So 7 against 1. Sorry, bud.
Well, we had a good first week. I don't need you.
You really did. You know who didn't have a good week? Memphis Express.
Yeah.
Those poor guys.
They're the only team to get shut out.
Yeah. Can we just have a moment of silence for real quick from the Memphis Express?
And let's also have a moment of silence for Christian Hackenberg's career. Okay.
That
was long. That was plenty long enough.
That was plenty long. That's all they deserved. Yeah, truly.
Oh, Christian. I'm a Penn State guy. And man, he was really good when he was like 18 years old. He was a true freshman. He started. We were like, this guy's going to be good. Everyone thought he was going to be like the number 1 pick in the draft. Just got worse year after year after year. And then like, I kind of thought like, oh, maybe he's just, young guy, needs another chance. He gets the AAF shot, wins out his training camp battle with Zach Mettenberger in Memphis. And he beat out another guy too. I'm trying to remember who that was. But I thought for sure, maybe he'll come out here and just like, he's got the arm. But no, it was terrible. Terrible.
You know what made it look so much worse too was that all of these games were so aggressively offensive, and like they had like crazy passing, and for him to have 0, big old goose egg, it was too much. Like, I feel truly bad for him. He needs a little RIP sticker on our set.
We could just post that meme that you showed me where it's like it's always great to talk memes when we were doing audio only.
Let us describe a meme to you.
Yeah. Well, it was sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah.
It's the McPoyles, who were everyone's favorite. And the one guy was like trying to climb up, and it said like, oh, I'll save you. And it was the Memphis defense saying that to the Memphis offense. And then it was Frank just shoving a like 2x4 in the one guy's face and trying to knock him back down. And he's like, no, you won't. And then it says that Frank is Christian Hackenberg.
Yep.
So he just keeps sabotaging everything.
Oh, yeah. He was really going against his team.
Yeah. What else do you want to talk about?
Maybe first game nerves. We got to give him some credit. Hopefully he'll do a press conference and no one's going to give him a press conference.
I think he's done. Like,
yeah.
He'll be on the roster. He'll make his money, but I can't see him like starting next week, which means they're probably going to play Mettenberger, or who else do they even have? Troy Cook. I don't even know who Troy Cook. I'm going to have to do some research on Troy Cook, because that was their first round pick actually. So, you know what else is weird? Kind of just non sequitur here.
Yeah.
They have a really cool like draft system, and in the draft system they only draft QBs. Everything else goes through like an allocation system, which we can get into another time if we want. But the draft system is like protect or pick, and you can protect someone that's already been like allocated to your region as a team, or you can draft someone. And so I was looking back to see like who started this week as starters and who didn't from the first round picks, because they have 4 rounds of QB picks. So you would think that we would have more starters out of our first rounders, but we only had Luis Perez for the Birmingham Iron, Josh Woodrum for the Salt Lake Stallions, and Orlando's Garrett Gilbert, who we already mentioned. Everybody else that was drafted in the first round, so the 5 other players, like lost their job essentially. Like they were drafted to be starters and like got beat out in camp. Or in Josh Johnson's case, he signed an NFL contract, so he kind of just never showed up.
Really? Oh my
yeah,
gosh.
He was the first pick overall. Yeah, he was the 1-1, and he was just like deuces. But hey, you gotta take the job.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Can
we talk about penalty leniency? And then I would also, just because, I mean, men like fashion too, but as a woman, I would like to discuss the fashion of the AAF, which no one cares about except me, probably.
I'll chat it up a little bit.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
First, let's talk about how What? Gosh, I keep forgetting how to pronounce his name. Bovici? Is that how you say it? The decapitation?
That was
the helmet launch?
If people saw one play this weekend on like Twitter or Facebook or something, that's probably what they saw, right?
Yeah.
Berkovich.
Isn't that hard to say?
Yeah.
And like I haven't heard the name said yet, so I'm not
Berkovici.
Berkovici. Okay.
I mean, he might be dead, so we might not have to pronounce his name much longer.
I hope not. I mean, he did play the rest of that game, so didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's alive.
He's heavily concussed.
Like I got really worried there for a second. He felt it the next day, that's for sure.
That's for sure. That was he got rocked, and like I think there was like a general like collective. I saw that play kind of play out on Twitter as it happened, and there was like a sigh of relief from like the collective because they're like, oh, there's no flag on that play, and they're like, that was an awesome like football defensive hit. Like I mean, just like everything about it was like what people remember liking about football.
Yeah.
Like I mean, God forbid Mike, I'm glad he's okay, but you know what I mean? Everything about it was just like, that's cool that that's how the league is going to play.
Yeah. I saw a thread where people were just going on about how safety and concussions, and then someone was like, don't you see, this is how God intended football to be? And I was like, I just read the drama in his post. I was like, yes, I am with you. But
the other cool thing that happened, like I had felt that same moment kind of like sharing with people, was Orlando's, I think it was the very first touchdown that happened in the AAF, actually, because of the way the games were being played at times. So Orlando scored on a long touchdown, and it was called incomplete, I believe, on the field. And they like instantly went up, got it right from the sky judge.
I love the sky judge.
Yeah. And so like it was like just this perfect, like, you know, here's the right call, and boom, touchdown. And it was just beautiful. In
the Commanders Fleet game, when they went to the sky judge, I was like, and it was a broad, a woman, a lady, a female. I don't know. What do we call us? Whatever.
Oh, the ladies are always above us.
And I saw her and I go, what? And I was so happy and excited. And you got to hear it. That transparency is insane. Like, I just
you got to hear their like reasoning while they're talking to the ref?
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. So that's cool, like broadcasting even.
It was amazing. And you think about like, okay,
did it have like a God effect on it? Like the play was like just booming like echo?
It sort of felt like that in a way, because if you think about it, when there's a challenge or they're reviewing a play, like everything goes like very dark for us, and we have no idea what's going on. All
we don't know what.
Just like hear the crowd, and the commentator's like, well, it could be this, and then your wheels start turning in your head like, what could it be? You're going through every single case scenario, and then you're like, okay, that's what they went with. This is like, you can hear their thought process.
Yeah, you're still part of it.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I had mine game on mute actually because we were playing some other games.
You're not even worthy of this podcast. I am more. This is what's awesome about the AAF, because everyone's in at the ground floor, and so someone like me who hasn't spent years upon years and hours upon hours watching football, I can be just as big of a fan and be able to talk about it because I've seen more games than you.
Have you? You've listened to more games than me.
No, I've seen 3 games. 3 or 4. Okay. 75%.
3 of 4 or 3 or 4? It's a difference.
3 or 4. We'll go 3 or 4.
Okay.
I've watched lots of highlights too.
Yeah. It's fun. It's fun. I love just seeing people like chanting online, like, who's your team gonna be? Like, pick your squad, you know?
Yeah.
It's great.
Let's talk fashion.
Okay. I know it's been bothering you. Let's do it.
Okay. Favorite helmet goes to the Salt Lake Stallions. They're just so sharp. I like them. This guy right here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 3. Like, what is it, though? Is it because it's not a claw, because it's a stallion.
For those of you only listening, we have a video going too, and I'm trying to show our screen, but it's not working. We have helmets back on our screen and a beautiful graphic that Haas made. It says the Allies Podcast.
Yeah, I wanted to make sure it said the title of our podcast. That seemed like a good place to start.
Well, I was afraid without it we would have forgot what we called it 4 hours ago when we started this. So thank you. It's quite the necessity.
So what do you think those are, though, on the helmet?
They're... What are they?
Like stallion?
Oh,
like it looks like a dragon claw or something, but it's a stallion.
I bet you it's the mane. It's like the mane of the stallion.
Flowing, okay.
It has to be, because it's not a claw and it's not...
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
I can get down with that.
But they cool. look super sharp on the field.
But they really don't like the uniforms, you said.
The uniforms... They're rough.
So the helmets.
Some of them look like flag
high...
football to me. Like the Atlanta Hot Shots. Are they the ones that are orange?
Yes.
They look like.
No,
Oh wait,
the yellow and green and red.
Yeah, no. So they're red. Their red lines on the sides of their jerseys look like bright orange flag football. Flags
hanging down.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
It drives me bonkers. Have you not seen this? You should look at it.
I did see it.
Everyone has those stripes, but like when you put that color there on the hip, I'm just like, someone's gonna pull his flag.
My favorite 2 uniforms. Can I chime in with that? Okay.
No, fashion is not allowed for you.
I know.
Go ahead.
I have an opinion.
Go ahead.
My 2 favorite are the Fleet, San Diego.
Oh yeah.
It's just it's like clean and modern and a little different. I don't know. I really like that. It's a good look. And got to go with the Apollos. I mean,
bias.
I think they wanted to work some blue and orange into the logo for Steve Spurrier because he's the old Florida coach. I don't know. Just thinking out loud.
What's your thought?
Yeah, like just make it a little darker. It's cool though. They're good. They're clean.
Okay, so those are the fashion top highlights.
Mm-hmm.
But fashion fails.
Well, everyone's talking about the one fashion fail. Go.
It's the referees.
Yeah.
Yes.
So bad.
What happened? It's like I feel like they ran out of fabric and they were just like, "Oh, we're gonna have to patchwork this shit together. Whatever we can do."
It's almost like the design teams were different though for the uniforms, which are kind of like they're kind of vanilla almost. Like they didn't take a lot of chances with the uniforms, and then the refs they're like, you know what? F it, man. We're going wild on these ones. The refs are gonna look crazy.
Okay, they have what I would consider.
I'm trying to pull up a picture.
Star shoulder pads. They're wearing Beetlejuice back supports and a possible bulletproof vest if you're far enough away from your TV. Like the cut of this jersey is absolutely terrible. They're the worst.
Have you seen these, Derek?
All right, Derek, our producer, is going to get a quick lesson in referee fashion fails.
Come over here. Oh. I mean, it looks like a cummerbund kind of too. Like
yes, a cummerbund is perfect.
That's
I kept thinking back support, but it's
that is
totally
not
cumbersome.
either.
Let me see.
Yeah.
It shows the gut more.
It's like
they're wearing a zebra fanny pack.
If you're listening to this right now and you have not seen these yet,
yeah,
do yourself a favor.
The star pads, it kind of looks like some kind of like military knockoff. It's not flattering.
There's some bad there are a few bad uniforms. Like I don't really like the San Antonio ones. Whatever. None of them are like super offensive like some of the other startup leagues have been, but these ref things have got to go.
They just emphasize the gut. It's the weirdest thing.
That's what you usually try to do with your clothing, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's what I go for. Just show it off. Yeah, they're bad. Okay, we've done enough of that.
Okay, fine. That was my favorite topic so far. Just kidding. I like the other stuff way more, but that was fun. Okay, how long are we into the show, producer Derek?
No clue.
Oh shoot! He just licked and stuck a beer bottle cap onto his forehead. He breathed on it. He didn't lick it.
That sticky breath.
Here's the Tic Tacs.
I'll call it back to the Tic Tacs.
Yeah. I can't keep track of the time because you guys are the ones with the garage band. So.
Oh, how do we find out? We better find out quick.
No, David, you figure it out.
Auburn, you can do the AC.
This is what's on my computer. It's a cat. I cannot be trusted with any electronics.
Derek, it's 756 bars and 4 beats.
Help.
The one person who knows this program is the one who can't see it. All right, watch out.
David wanted these gigantic computers in the shot.
Yeah.
But I'm going to use this one. The next podcast, I'm going to do all my research on it. I'm going to tippy-tappy. But I studied all day today.
Yeah. 25. Well, we want to keep these under 30. Is there anything else that we need to hit?
That's a few minutes of
banter.
Let's talk about what we think for the games coming up. And just give a quick... I'll tell you what the schedule is, okay?
Okay.
Okay, so we have Salt Lake Stallions at Birmingham Iron. That's on TNT on Saturday.
Okay.
And then the Arizona Hotshots at Memphis Express. Oh, gosh. Hopefully Memphis can pull something together. That's on NFL Network on Saturday's night game. Orlando Apollos at San Antonio Commanders. CBS Sports Network. That's Sunday at 4 p.m. And Atlanta Legends at San Diego Fleet. That's on NFL Network. That's the Sunday night game at 8 p.m.
They did a good job getting all that TV coverage. That's pretty impressive.
It really is.
They really jump-started the XFL. I mean, they got to jump on the XFL because they stole like a lot of the like wave of interest. So
yeah, they sure did.
And they're getting the TV deals, and producer Derek's got something to say.
So you're talking on the wrong side of the mic.
Oh, I'm talking on the wrong side of the mic. Well, this is my first podcast ever, so.
There you go. Perfect. No, you're fine. There.
Whatever.
How many times have you used a microphone?
A microphone? Oh, all one time, starting today. This one time.
Okay, so is there one game that you feel like you need to sit down and like you want to be there to see? I mean, you'll probably watch a bunch, but like which one do you have to see?
Okay,
because I have to see Orlando.
Yeah, I really actually want to see what happens with the Memphis Express.
Are you a Memphis Express fan?
No, I am not. But I want to see, like, are they just like a quick underdog? They pull Hackenberg out, and now they're going to put someone else, whoever else. Who do you think is going to go in?
I think it's going to be Mettenberger.
Yeah, Mettenberger.
But this Troy Cook guy, I gotta look him up. I do not know Troy Cook, and I'm not going to pretend like I do.
I'm super curious to see, though, if they have a huge turnaround, because he was just such a major fail for them that maybe that's all that they need, and it's okay, and then we don't have to RIP them in week 1. Maybe they can recover, and not just like zombie recover from the dead. I think maybe they can make a comeback. So I'm excited to see that game, because it's going to be like seeing a new team. I'm super optimistic.
Okay.
There's only 8 teams. I have to be optimistic about everybody. I am the whole alliance. I'm really here for everybody.
You've built an alliance with the alliance?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you know Mike? You know Mike Vick, even as a casual like NFL fan,
yes,
right? Even though, yeah. So he was the offensive coordinator, and he was kind of like part of like the marketing for the league. They're like, hey, look, we have like these, another big name real player in a major role for the Atlanta Legends, which also Atlanta was his market in the NFL before the dogfighting stuff. So he was supposed to be their offensive coordinator. It was like big marketing push around him, and then like the week of leading up to this game, this past week, he just like stepped down, and so there's mystery around that. So I wonder if we can uncover anything else. I don't know if he was like let go. I don't know if he chose, like he didn't get along with the head coach or something, but I just think that's weird.
Yeah,
I want more intel on that.
Yeah, I'm interested to see like what in between game chatter starts happening, because right now it's just like first game, everyone's talking about how great the first games are. Tons of positive feedback. Like there really hasn't been much negative feedback about the league. It's like everyone's pretty amped up. We're all super grateful to have off-season games, right? Is that the consensus, would you say?
Yeah, I mean, soon we're not even going to call it off-season. We're just going to call it like AAF season, right?
Yeah, which is amazing.
Off-season will be kind of like late spring, early summer, but even then we'll have draft. I mean, we'll have draft, and then we'll have camps. Mm-hmm. So yeah, they definitely filled a gap, that's for sure.
Good timing, of course, playing that way. Well, by the next show, I'd hope to figure out, I keep mixing up the Arizona Hot Shots, which are with the Atlanta Legend. So I plan to fix that for next show.
They're so different, though.
I know, it's not the coloring that I'm missing. They're just A's. I don't know. So if I mess that up during the show,
you probably get
retract.
San Antonio and San Diego mixed up, too, because they're Sands.
Can we just speaking of names that sound similar, Woodford, Wolford, and Wooddrum?
Yes, there are 2 starting quarterbacks with the name Wood and one with Wool. It's pretty bizarre. Let me pull it up here.
I mean, there's only 8 starting quarterbacks. Like, this is so bizarre.
There's Josh Woodrum for the Stallions. There's, what was the other one I had? Yeah, Woodford. Woodrum, but
yeah.
I can't find what team it was. I remember it was Woodrum, and then Wolford. I mean,
that's weird.
3 WOs. That must be what it takes to play in the league.
I guess so.
He should have been Christian Wokenberg. Then he'd be fine.
Oh.
All right.
That's a good way to end it out.
It is. I'm looking forward to next week. We got lots more to cover here on the Allies podcast. Until then.
See you next week.
Easy sign off there. Bye-bye.
Bye.